tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Jaime Andrés Herrera Giraldo y vamos a proceder con el ejercicio de la semana número 3. Yo elegí la opción número 2, que es presentar un video de la lectura en inglés de mínimo de 15 minutos del primer capítulo de Financial Literacy and Financial Education, Theory and Survey, de Beata Suica, Alexandra Riskuk, Dieter Korkas, Olga Wiskong, Kanagieska. Y vamos a comenzar con la lectura del capítulo 1 y al final destinaré 30 segundos para concluir en español sobre lo aprendido después de esta lectura. Empecemos. A Theoretical Framework for Financial Literacy and Financial Education. Beata Huesca. Operationalization of Financial Literacy. The earliest known use for the term financial literacy can be traced back to 1992, when a report for the National Foundation for Educational Research, NFER, commissioned by NatWest Bank, defined financial literacy as the ability to make informed judgments and make effective decisions regarding the use and management of money. Knockdorn, Stradlin, 1992. Financial literacy as a theoretical construct was championed by the Jumpstart Coalition for the Personal Financial Literacy in his inaugural 1997 study, Jumpstart Survey of Financial Literacy among high school students. In this study, Jumpstart defined financial literacy as the ability to use knowledge and skills to manage one's financial resource and effectively for the lifetime financial security. As operationalized in the academic literature, financial literacy has taken on a variety of meanings. It has been used to refer to knowledge of financial products. For example, what is a bond, what is a stock versus a bond, the difference between a fixed and adjustable rate mortgage, knowledge of financial concepts, inflation, compounding, diversification, credit scores, having the mathematical skills of numeracy necessary for the effective financial decision making, and the being engaged in certain activities such as financial planning. Efforts to measure financial literacy date back to at least the early 1990s, when the Consumer Federation of America, 1990, 1991, 1992, 1998, began conducting a series of consumer knowledge surveys among different populations, which include questions on several personal finance topics: consumer credit, bank accounts, insurance, and a major consumer expenditures areas such as housing, food, and automobiles. Hastings, Medran, Skinnyhorn, 2012. The 1997 Jumpstart Survey of high school students refers above has been repeated biennially since 2000 and was expanded to include college students in 2008. Mandel, 2000, pages 163-183. One of the first institutions to introduce the concept of financial literacy on a large scale was the ODC. The International Network of Financial Education was defined financial literacy as a combination of awareness, knowledge, skills, attitude, and behavior necessary to make sound financial decisions and ultimately achieving individual well-being. Atkinson and Massey, 2012. This decision is now globally acknowledged and was also endorsed by the G20 leaders in the G20 2012. The definition makes it clear that financial literacy is something that more than knowledge, it also includes attitude, behavior, and skills. It stresses the importance of the decision making, applying knowledge and skills to a real life process, and indicates that the impact should improve one's financial well being. Atkinson and Menzies, 2012. According to PISA 2017, financial literacy is knowledge and understanding of financial concepts and risk, and the skills, motivation, and confidence to apply such knowledge and understanding in order to make effective decisions across a range of financial contexts to improve the financial well-being of individuals and society and to enable participation in economic life. The definition has two parts. The first refers to the kind of thinking and behavior characteristic for the domain. For the domain. The second part refers to the importance of developing the particular literacy. In PISA's terms, literacy refers not only to the capacity of the 15-year-old students to apply knowledge and skills in a key subject, but also to the students' ability to analyze, reason, and communicate as they pose, solve, and interpret problems in a variety of situations. PISA 2017. According to the National Financial Educators Council, financial literacy is possessing the skills and knowledge on financial matters to confidently take effective action that best fulfills an individual's personal, family, and global community goals. NFBC 2014. The OIC and INFE members agree that various terms used to describe this concept, including in particular financial literacy and financial capability, but also financial culture and financial insight, could be used relatively interchangeably as they reflect similar perceptions of the reality that they aim to recover. It was therefore their side to use the most common international term, financial literacy, for the purpose of this meaning survey. INFI 2012. The financial literacy knowledge is on financial concepts and how the knowledge is used to make financial decisions, taking into account available resources and unique situations for each individual or family. Delgadillo 2014. According to Xiao 2016, the second component creating financial capability, in addition to the financial literacy, is the financial behavior, by which one should understand human behaviors relevant to money management. Common financial behaviors include behaviors related to earnings, spending, saving, and protecting money. Xiao 2016. In the literature of the subject, we do not have one commonly agreed definition. The financial literacy means different for different people and organizations. Table 1.1 presents an overview of various definitions of financial literacy. Table 1.1, Overview of Financial Literacy Definitions. Author, Jared Publishing, Definition of Financial Literacy. PISA, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Jared Publishing, 2017. Definition: in young people, knowledge and understanding of financial concepts and risks for the skills, motivation, and confidence to apply such knowledge and understanding in order to make effective decisions across a range of financial contexts, to improve the financial well-being of individuals and society, and to enable participation in economic life. Xiao, 2016. Financial literacy has not been yet directly linked to how households choose among different kinds of assets. Author, Luzardi and Michael. Year Publishing, 2014. Definition of financial literacy. The financial literacy is people's ability to process economic information and make informed decisions about financial planning, wealth accumulation, debt, and pensions. Financial literacy has been defined as the level of financial knowledge and the ability to apply the knowledge to improve financial status. Author, Delgadillo. Year of Publishing, 2014. Definition of financial literacy. Financial literacy is knowledge of financial concepts and how the knowledge is used to make financial decisions, taking into account available resources and the unique situation for each individual or family. Author, OIC, INFE. Year of Publishing, 2012. Definition of financial literacy. Financial literacy is a combination of awareness, knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior necessary to make sound financial decisions and ultimately achieve individual financial well-being. Author, Gale and Levine. Year of Publishing, 2010. Financial literacy is the ability to make informed judgments and effective decisions regarding the use and management of money and wealth. Finally, illiterate households make poor choices that affect not only the decision makers themselves, but also their families and their public at large, making the improvement of financial literacy a first-order concern for public policy. Bernheim and Garrett. Year of Publishing, 2003. Definition of financial literacy. Financial literacy is no isolated category, but is a specialized part of the economic literacy, which is related with the ability to ensure income, to move on the labor market, to make decisions about own payments, and the ability to realize the possible consequences of their own decisions on the current and future income. Author, Noctor, Stoney, and Stanley. Year, 1992. Definition of financial literacy. Financial literacy is the ability to make informed judgments and to take effective decisions regarding the use and management of money. Source, Xiao, 2016, OIC, 2017, Gale and Levine, 2010, GAO, 2014, Luzardi and Mitchell, 2014, 2006, Bernheim and Garrett, 2003, Noctor and others, 1992, Capson and others, 2017, PISA, 2017. In order to achieve adequate transparency in the area of financial literacy, it is essential to operationalize the main concepts and related terms. The broadest concept in financial capability, in which the important factor for the well-being of the household members. Financial capability in the ability to apply appropriate financial knowledge and perform desirable financial behaviors to achieve the financial goals and to enhance financial well-being. Financial capability is a combination of financial literacy and financial behavior meant to achieve financial well-being. Xiao, 2016. Chart. Financial literacy, financial knowledge, understanding about the financial concepts and procedures, as well as the use of the understanding to solve financial problems. Financial skills, the ability to use knowledge and understanding to manage an expected or unexpected situation in order to solve a financial problem and convert it into a benefit and opportunity to one's advantage. Financial attitudes, readiness to use knowledge and economic skills in various financial situations. Financial behavior, behavior in which specific situations on the financial markets. Figure 1.1, Elements of Financial Literacy. Source, author's own work. 1.2 Elements of financial literacy. Financial literacy consists of the following elements. See Figure 1.1. Financial knowledge. Knowledge and understanding of economic concepts and mechanisms of the economy. Financial knowledge helps people to understand the financial concept and procedures, as well as to use understanding in solving financial problems. In this knowledge of how to manage the money in different usage, including the monitoring of day-to-day financial matters in the market, and make the right choices for the financial literate people's needs. Parts of financial knowledge include conceptual financial knowledge, procedural financial knowledge, applied financial knowledge. Second, financial skills. Application of acquired economic knowledge in economic decisions, analysis, evaluation choices. It is the ability to use knowledge and understanding to manage an unexpected or unexpected situation in order to solve a financial problem and convert it to a benefit and opportunity to one's advantage. Financial attitudes. Motivation and readiness to use knowledge and economic skills in various life situations. There are the individual's characteristics that take the form of tendencies towards a financial practice or action. They show that the inclination or likelihood of a person to undertake a behavior. Financial behavior. Behavior in specific situations in the financial market. At the APEC workshop held in September 2013, representatives of the APEC economics and financial literacy experts reached consensus on a basic framework outlining the common themes on financial and economic literacy. See Table 1.2. Table 1.2. Learning outcomes of financial economic literacy. Dimension, learning outcomes. Dimension, knowledge, learning outcomes. 1. First, saving and spending. Distinguishing needs from wants, knowing and how savings can help in achieving an individual's goals, options for saving, barriers to savings, and overcoming these barriers. Practicing the habit of saving is also covered. Second, planning and budgeting. The skill of developing an action plan towards a goal or dream. Third, informed decision making. Involves knowing where to seek information and knowing the consequences of various actions. Dimension, skills. Learning outcomes. First, earning money. Covers various topics around livelihood, employment, and entrepreneurship. Second, managing money, the ability to save and spend, practicing the habit of planning and budgeting and acting upon those plans. Third, investing money, exploring options of investing money. Fourth, understanding the cost of borrowing, knowing options for credit and understanding the consequences. Dimension, attitude, learning outcomes. First, attaining a long-term focus to view into the future, reflective considering actions that have a sensitivity to risk. Second, considerate of well-being of others, reflecting on the impact of others, having a sense of responsibility towards others, sense of empathy and compassion. Third, developed sense of self-worth with an outgoing interest in continuous learning. Fourth, passion for the projects that one is involved in, as well as passion towards one's own self-development. Dimension, behavior, learning outcomes. First, enacting habits of saving, budgeting, and prioritizing. Second, exhibiting entrepreneurial behavior and work ethic, making responsible choices. Third, exercising focus on making an effort with an emphasis on grit. Fourth, demonstrating charitable, empathetic, and compassionate behavior. Source, APEC 2014. The IAT experts group of measurement of financial literacy agreed that the terms financial literacy and financial capability could be used interchangeably as they were reflecting similar perceptions of the reality and they aimed to cover. Kepson, Fidney, Pope, 2017. 1.3 Conceptualizing financial education. Financial education is a crucial foundation for raising financial literacy. According to Article 5B on the Convention on the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development on the 14th December 1960, financial education has always been important for households in helping them and budget and manage their income, save and invest efficiently, and avoid becoming victims of fraud. How in regard to the fact that as the financial markets become increasingly sophisticated and households assume more of the responsibility and risks for financial decisions, especially in the field of retirement savings, financially educated individuals are necessary to ensure sufficient levels of investor and consumer protection, as well as the smooth functioning not only of the financial markets, but also of the economy. OIDEC 2005b. Financial education has gained a prominent position in the global policy agenda. It is now universally recognized as a core component of the financial empowerment of individuals and the overall stability of the financial system. OIC 2017. The definition of financial education was proposed by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development in 2005. See Table 1.3. According to the OIC, financial education is a process in which consumers and financial investors provide their understanding of financial products, concepts, and threats, and through information, instructions, and or objectives advice, develop skills and confidence to better understand financial risks and opportunities, make informed choices, how where to look for help, and other effective actions to improve their financial well-being. OIC 2016b. Financial education is important in increasing knowledge and financial awareness, which is to translate into effectiveness of financial decisions. Lusardi and Mitchell, 2014. Financial education has a positive impact on consumer behavior and financial well-being. You can look at the financial education for different points of view, which is why I suggest treating it as process, values, set of activities, multipurpose area, and capital. Financial education is defined as and acknowledged as a complement to financial protection, inclusion, and regulation, as a way to improve individual decision-making and well-being, support financial stability and development. PISA 2017. Financial education is the answer to the low level of financial knowledge which is an essential and basic element influencing the financial inclusion. The definition of financial education was developed by Diolik in 2005, already identifies financial well-being as one of the main outcomes of the financial education process. The process by which financial consumers, investors, improve their understanding of financial products, concepts, and risk, and through information, instruction, and or objective advice, develop the skills and confidence to become more aware of financial risks and opportunities, to make informed choices, to know where to go for help, and to take other effective actions to improve their financial well-being. Olick, 2015. Financial education is believed to improve financial literacy, motivates desirable financial behaviors, and enhance financial well-being among consumers. Lusardi and Mitchell, 2014. My suggestion is to introduce the notion of effective versus ineffective financial education related to the benefits of education brings to the households, financial institutions, and the economy in general. The effective financial education brings measurable benefits in a micro scale, for example, for the households, in a meso scale for the financial institutions, and in the macro scale for the economy as whole. The ineffective financial education is just the reverse. Definitions for financial education. Authors: Oik, J.R. Publishing, 2005. Definition of financial education. Financial education can be defined as the process by which financial consumers, investors improve their understanding of financial products, concepts, and risk, and through information, instruction, and or objective advice, develop the skills and confidence to become more aware of financial risks and opportunities, to make informed choices, to know where to go for help, and to take other effective actions to improve their financial well-being. Financial education, though, goes beyond the provision of financial information and advice, which should be regulated as is already often the case, in particular for the protection of financial clients, for example, consumers in contractual relationships. Isa, author. J.R. Publishing, 2017. Definition of financial education. Financial education is acknowledged as a complement to financial protection, inclusion, and regulation as a way to improve individual decision-making and well-being, and support of financial stability and development. Authors: Lusardi and Michael. J.R. Publishing, 2017. Definition of financial education. Financial education is believed to improve financial literacy, motivate desirable financial behaviors, and enhance financial well-being among consumers. Author: Swiska. J.R. Publishing, 2018. Definition of financial education. Financial education is a complex process that can begin at any stage of life. It involves financial knowledge and financial skills used for more effective personal finance management. Not every increase in knowledge is associated with increasing effectively in finance. Knowledge is not enough to have financial success. For education to be effective, it needs to be deepened. The financial market is very dynamic and requires constant updating of knowledge and activities. Source: author's own work based on OIC, 2005b, PISA, 2017, Lusardi and Michael, 2014. Financial education is aimed at an increase in financial knowledge and skills, rationalizing financial decisions, effectively of personal finance management, and implementation of assumed financial and non-financial goals. It is the process that can begin at various stages of life and last in a lifetime. The process of acquiring financial competences starts with acquiring knowledge, which should, but not necessarily does, translate into enhanced skills. It might aid at the stage of gaining knowledge and bring about no change in the financial behavior. The recipients receive knowledge but do not use it in practice. Thereby, their attitudes remain unchanged. The 4 pillars of education developed by the International Commission of Education for the 21st Century, UNESCO 1996, which I believe that can be amplified to financial education, can be helpful in illustrating and describe phenomenon of the distance between the acquired knowledge and the activity. See Figure 1.2. Pillar 1. Learning to know. General teaching with the possibility of deepening knowledge. Pillar 2. Learning to do. Learning to acquire skills, improve qualifications that can be used in practice. Pillar 3. Learning to live together. Learning to understand other stories, traditions, identity, origins, acquire skills for peaceful conflict resolution. Pillar 4. Learning to be. Learning to accomplish set goals, self-realization. Figure 1.2, 4 pillars of education. Source, author's own study based on International Commission of Education for the 21st Century, Dellors and Iny, 1996, page 85. In financial education, it is not enough to explore Pillar 1 alone. For example, it is not enough to learn how to know. It is necessary to gradually learn and improve skills that can be used in practice, to use the acquired knowledge to change one's attitudes and behavior. The pillars 3 and 4 seem to be slightly less significant, although financial institutions is necessary to learn to live together with others, Pillar 3, to be part of society, to not expand the group of financially excluded people, and to learn that money is a tool, Pillar 4, and should not be considered as the end in itself. Classification 1.4. Classification of financial education. For the purpose of this study, in order to build a theoretical basis in the field of financial education, in addition to the definition, the notion of the purposefulness was introduced and the classification criteria were present. See Figure 1.3. The goal of the financial education is to educate individuals, the household's members, the society in general, to increase their knowledge, awareness, and skills in the field of finance in order to enhance their efficiency in the money management. It should be noted that not all the knowledge acquisition is associated with better financial management. Not only knowledge used in practice yields the desired effect. One can have wide theoretical knowledge, but only applied knowledge is of practical use. The search for knowledge requires enormous willpower, strong initiatives, and most importantly, extraordinary perseverance. Suezca, 2017. Financial education, Figure 1.3. The classification of financial education. Goal of financial education. The goal of financial education is to educate the society, to increase knowledge, awareness, and skills in the field of finance, the application of which leads to increased efficiency of money management. Formal financial education, institutionalized intentionally and planned by public organizations and recognized by private bodies, consulting the formal education system of a country. Non-formal financial education, institutionalized internationally and planned but organized outside the formal education system of a country. Informal finance education learning, non-institutional, intentional but less structured learning process. For example, in the family, workplace, local community, etc. Source: authors on work based on UNESCO 1996 International Standard Classification of Education, ISCED. Financial education can be divided according to several criteria. Swayzka 2016, Swayzka 2017. The criterion on the form of education. Formal education, learning at school according to curricula which enable the acquisition of full or partial qualifications. Non-formal education, institutional learning according to programs that do not fall within the scope of formal education. Informal education, gaining knowledge through experience. It involves shaping attitudes and behaviors as a result of the acquired experience, the educational impact on the environment, family, friends, work environment, etc. It includes not only developing knowledge and skills, but also shaping attitudes and values. Age criterion. 2. Financial education of children, carried out to the youngest years until the end of the primary school. Financial education of the adolescents, carried out in the junior high school and high school. Adult final education, carried out during college and university studies, professional and hobbyist courses, trainings, workshops, study tours, seminars, conferences from 18 upwards. Third, recruitment criterion. School financial education, implemented in two segments. Firstly, among students, secondly, among teachers involved in financial education. Academic financial education, implemented in two segments. First, among students, secondly, among academic teachers involved in financial education. Non-school and non-academic financial education, carried out in the form of competitions, extracurricular activities, workshops, trainings, vocational courses, etc. 4. Distance criterion. Stationary financial education, a form of education in which a significant part of the classes is carried out in the direct contact of the teacher with the students. Distance financial education, of distance learning, e-education, e-learning, virtual education, remote education, or a form of teaching using the internet in the form of multimedia presentations, short movies, or online meetings with the teacher. Time criterion. Partial education, lasting for a certain period of time, monthly and weekly courses, annual studies. Continuing education, consisting of moments of partial education lasting through life. The national strategies for financial education play a major role in financial education. The ODIC has created a set of guidelines for effective implementation of national financial education strategies. These guidelines can be used to develop standard programs of economic education. These rules were published in 2005 by the ODEC, Principles and Good Practices for Financial Education Awareness. See more in Chapter 6. Financial literacy is increasingly considered to be an essential life skill, and as early as 2005, the ODEC recommendation advised that financial education should start at school. People should be educated about financial matters as early as possible in their lives. ODEC 2005 BB. Two main reasons underpin these recommendations: the importance of focusing on the youth and the efficiency of providing financial education in schools. The ODEC has also developed the recommendation on guidelines for financial education in schools and guidance on learning frameworks on financial education, which should be approved by the ODEC Council and made public in May 2012. Younger generations are now likely to face ever-increasing complexity in financial products, services, and markets, but they were more likely to have to bear more financial risk in adulthood than their parents. In particular, they are likely to bear more responsibility for the planning on their own retirement savings and investments and the coverage in the healthcare needs, and they will have to deal with more sophisticated and diverse financial products. Knowledge in the workplace or in other settings can be severely limited by a lack of early exposure to financial education and by a lack of awareness of the benefits of county financial education. It is therefore important to provide early opportunities for establishing foundations for financial literacy. In addition to preparing young people for the adult life, financial education in schools can also address immediate financial issues facing youth people. Many children are consumers of financial services from their youth age. It is not common for them to have accounts with access to online payments facilities or to use mobile phones with various payment options. Even before they become teenagers, it is clear that the financial literacy will be a benefit to them when using such products. Before leaving school, they might also face decisions about such issues such as car insurance, saving products, and overdrafts. PISA 2012. The essence of financial education is understanding youth people's relationship between money and work. Understanding the value of money, shaping the rationality of spending money, as well as learning the background of capital. With child's age, the sum of spend on them grow, and the child's respect for the money does not increase neither automatically nor in proportion to the increase in the amounts spent. That is why it is so important to teach the youngest about finances. Financial education should cover all life stages and start with the preschool age, with the need to adapt curricula to the level of the trainee. Another kind of knowledge is needed by a preschooler and another by a retired person. Therefore, knowledge in the field of financial literacy should be adapted to the age and to the needs of a person and their household. For example, for the purposes of the article, it is proposed to this list the needs and forms of teaching depending on the life cycle. See Table 1.4. Table 1.4, Cycle of Life and Needs of Financial Literacy and Financial Education. Number, cycle of life, questions, needs for financial knowledge, financial education. Number 1, cycle of life. Early childhood, age 3 and 5. Questions, needs for financial knowledge. What is money? What is the value of money? How much can you buy with coins and how much with paper money? Financial education, pictures of money. What does it look like? What is that for? Number 2, cycle of life, middle childhood, ages 6 to 8. Questions, needs for financial knowledge. What is a store, a bank for? What does the money come from? From the wall, means ATM, bankomat. Why and for what we have to pay? How much do the individual's goods cost? How much does the everyday shopping cost? How should money be spent? For example, not all at once. Financial education. Finance in the elementary arithmetic. €1 plus €1, €2. Observation of family. Number 3, cycle of life, late childhood, age 9 to 11. Questions, needs for financial knowledge. How to buy in a store. How much do various things cost? What to do in order to have more money? What does money give happiness or not? Can financial management be learned? Financial education, experience, buying chops, play a game, cash flow, monopoly, post office. Table 1.4 continue. Number 4, cycle of life, adolescence, ages 12 to 20. Questions, needs for financial knowledge. How to spend money, how to save money. What is the priority in consumption? When and how to open an account on the internet. Go to college, which college, how to pay. Who can have a prepaid or a debit card. Financial education, theory at school with practice, observation of the college experience, short courses, internet books. Early adulthood, ages 20 to 35. Buy or rent a house or flat. How to find a well-paid job. Cook for oneself or eat out. How quickly to pay off debt. Buy life insurance. Of what kind and for how much. Contribute to a retirement plan. How much? Financial education, experience, short courses, internet, books. Number 6, midlife, ages 35-50. Choose a deductible on the car insurance, on homeowner insurance. How to save for various needs, how to invest, experience, short courses, experience books, internet books. Mature adulthood, vacation on a staycation. Use new solutions in banking and finance. For example, mobile payments, internet banking, cashless payments, etc. Retire or work for a few years more. Buy annual health insurance. Financial education. Experience, short courses, internet, books, intergenerational transfer of knowledge. 8, cycle of life, late adulthood, age 80 and plus. Questions and needs for financial knowledge. How to make a testament. Should I transfer my property before death? Have to transfer your business to your family? Financial education, intergenerational transfer of knowledge to grandchildren. Source, how to score work. The Nobel Prize winner Stigler, 1983, pointed out 3 reasons of the low level of economic literacy in the world. First, achieving high level of knowledge in any discipline is difficult, as it requires practice, intelligence, and educational support. Second, according to another price winner, the economy is deceptively simple because the economic public disclosure is usually conducted in a very accessible way, bypassing the entire methodical, including mathematical, apparatus that underlines the economic regulations. This can give the recipients a false impression of understanding the complicated economic mechanisms. Third, sometimes people engage in wishful thinking and prefer simply and directly solutions to their problems, which makes them susceptible to propaganda and manipulation in the area of knowledge about the economic works, especially the economic policy. Gorski, 2016. Okay, now we're gonna switch to Spanish in order to highlight what we have learned so far. Bueno, después de hacer la lectura de este capítulo, pues yo quiero compartir qué fue lo que se aprendió. Se aprendieron muchas cosas, por ejemplo, la importancia de ser una persona ilustrada en la terminología financiera, en la educación financiera, la importancia de lo que es la educación financiera, las diferentes definiciones de la educación financiera de acuerdo a diferentes autores, organizaciones que están en este medio. Importante destacar que hay muchas organizaciones como la ODEC, como PISA. La ODEC es la Organización para el Desarrollo, la Cooperación y el Desarrollo Económico. PISA, que se encarga de regularizar también la educación. Muestran también cosas como la literatura financiera, la importancia de lo que es diferenciar entre el conocimiento, la habilidad, la actitud y el comportamiento, que el solo conocimiento no te hace llevar a tener habilidades financieras y que requiere más de conocimiento para que toda esa teoría se convierta en una habilidad y posteriormente en una actitud y posteriormente en un comportamiento financiero óptimo que te permita ahorrar e invertir. También se aprendió que hay que tener eso diferenciado, y se aprendió que dependiendo de las etapas de la vida es importante uno tener muy claro cuándo se debe aprender o cómo relacionarse con los temas financieros o con el dinero. Por ejemplo, aquí dicen que en la temprana edad entender qué es el dinero, para qué sirve, cuál es el valor, qué se puede comprar con monedas, qué se puede comprar con el papel moneda, ya en una edad un poquito más grandecita, de los 6 a los 8 años, si el dinero viene de una maquinita, de una pared, cuánto se puede gastar cada día, dependiendo de lo que uno gana, cuánto se gana cada día, la parte aritmética de que un euro más un euro son 2, o un peso más un peso son 2, que un dólar más un dólar son 2, y así sucesivamente. Y hay una conclusión muy importante que hace la autora, citando al ganador del premio Nobel Stigler del año 1983, que hay 3 razones por las cuales hay un poco nivel de conocimiento en vocabulario económico a nivel mundial. Y él dice que una de las razones es que, como cualquier disciplina de alto nivel, es difícil y requiere práctica, inteligencia y soporte educacional. Lo segundo que dice el premio Nobel es que la economía muchas veces se percibe como de manera simple, pero lo que pasa es que hay un, hay un, hay un, hay una descarga, una revelación de pública de lo económico que lo hace de manera accesible y de cierta manera hace un bypass de toda la parte metodológica, incluyendo la matemática, un bypass del aparatus que la economía a veces tiene y que guía las regulaciones. Y que esto puede dar una falsa impresión de lo complicado que son los mecanismos económicos. Y lo tercero que dice el premio Nobel, el ganador del premio Nobel Stigler, es que algunas veces la gente se engancha con pensamientos deseosos y prefiere las soluciones simples y directas a sus problemas, lo cual hace susceptible a propaganda y a manipulación en el área del conocimiento acerca de cómo funciona la economía y especialmente cómo funciona la política económica. Bueno, esto fue un trabajo arduo. Espero que pues mi profesor lo pueda ver todo, de leer todo el capítulo, pero bueno, eso fue lo que se pidió, así lo hice. Lo hice con mucho gusto, se aprendió bastante, tomé notas, incluso conseguí el capítulo entero en PDF como lo pudieron ver por internet. Lo conseguí gratuito porque es un libro el libro que nos mandó a leer de Financial Literacy and Financial Education. Es un libro bastante costoso, lo estuve mirando en Google, vale 650,000 pesos. Y bueno, y conseguí este capítulo y ha sido bastante interesante. Entonces esperemos que sea de agrado para mi profesor y los compañeros que lo quieran ver. Muchas gracias por todo y que tengan muy buena tarde. Hasta luego.